to say I'm crazy if I hear God. Why do you patronize me, baby, if I talk to God?
Hey there, welcome to my corner. Hey there, it's Red Dirt Preacher, also known as Laney. Welcome into what I like to call the porch. It's my porch, and it is an extension out to you globally, a Christ-conscious church, all the time. So you got your phone in your hand right now, it's time for church. Don't go to church, be the church. It's a state of mind. It's we the people. We are the church. And that's what I'm doing. If I had a bugle from the moon, I would call it, and it would just call the church. The church is God's people, the body of people that move like us. When I say us, I mean us that understand that the world religion is love. If you like the shirt, you can support what I'm doing, which is helping God bring his revolution, and it's called IamRevolution.com. You can go there and you can buy all kinds of cool shirts that really dump religion in the back and bring Spirit of God forward. And Christ consciousness is where I am. So I think I just was feeling a nice little mood, and I know not to kill these moods. I know to take these moods and get myself in front of you. So I want to tell you some holy secrets. And normally, I talk on my own platform called The Porch, whether it's YouTube or it's in Facebook groups. That's the church. Hopefully my phone does not do that a lot. I forgot to turn off the little thing that makes it quiet. I don't have one of those either. Anyway, so I wanted to talk out loud here tonight. Just, I saw there's about, 500 some odd of you online. So I figured I'd come here and speak and chit-chat with you. So, you guys want to take a tour of the shelf? I was just redoing my corner today anyway. So, I like to make it old school. So, how to make it old school? I've got some... Hey, you know what? For all of you conscious fellow travelers out there on the rabbit hole journey, the conscious journey, the one that's loaded in with synchronicities, 11, 11, 555, triple numbers. Synchronicities that happen to you so bad that even Einstein would be scratching his head. We know this is the higher intellect of Jesus Christ, Holy Spirit, and of God. And of Source, if you really want to get down to it. It's energetic, and we know this. At least I know this, and this is what I'm talking about. Always preaching it. But I'm going to reach up behind me as long as I don't knock anything down. I'm going to show you what this is. I'm going to have a little story time. Story time! I love story time. That's what I do. I think at the core of anything that I am, I'm a storyteller. And right now, we just tell holy stories. It's awesome. I'm going to put my hat on. We're going to do this. And we're going to do this because I can. It's like some thrift stop thing. Let's do this. We'll understand why we're doing this in a minute. This decanter is really awesome. I got it as a gift. I went on a road trip one time. I really liked it, and the old lady gave it to me. Look at all these feathers that stick out of this, okay? They're not bought. I have like 4 more of these throughout my entire house. I just wanted to show you, you're not the only one. Can we have a hashtag in the house? Can we get a hashtag in the house? Hashtag you're not the only one. You see these feathers? Okay, this does not make me pagan. Why did I end up with these feathers? One at a time. Let me get them all over here. One at a time, these feathers showed up at my boot top. I'd be stepping and walking somewhere, and oh, wouldn't you know it, there just happens to be another feather at my boot top. After years and years of seeing feathers, come on, at my boot top, I started to understand, without the help of religion, because they call this shit pagan, I started to understand something's going on here, because never in my life, ever, have I walked so much and seen so many feathers at my boot top. Ever, ever, ever. This takes the cake. This would make Einstein go, what? When I started seeing feathers, I started seeing coins. Got another jar in my house full of coins. We come to understand this is literally the essence and energy of God. Getting our attention. No more than he would send a sexy man jogging down the street and have me go, ooh. This is that sexy man, right? Jesus is turning our spirits on, and he's making us raise an eyebrow and say, what was that? And there's enough out here to question. So I just wanted to point that out. I also collect stray bullets. So there's a whole jar at the bottom of it's just like full of bullets that I've shot or found, or, that's a crazy jar. But my feathers, they're homed in that. So You're not the only one. The reason I'm wearing the cowboy hat today is because I find myself underneath it, because in a spiritual way, we're at a rodeo. Yes, I understand that this is a church that we're being and doing and revolutionizing the way that we do church. Because over here at the porch, we're doing church like this, okay? Church is in here. Church is a state of mind and a way of life, not somewhere I visit just on Sundays. And so I've built this church outside religion because I understand that religion's, oh boy, the narcissism in the room. The devil is the energy of narcissism. Ugh, that snake, that steal, kill, and destroy dictator. I've come to understand and been teaching for the last 18 to 20 months that the religion is the energy of a narcissist, and that the devil is narcissist. He's the original narcissist. He wanted to be God. He wanted to play God. Most narcissists in your life that you've ran across, they like to play God. Rather, it's vindictively handing you karma themselves because they believe they have to. That's somebody that's playing God. Narcissism out here in the world, and a lot of awakened conscious people that are breathing down that are coming from the Bible backcountry where I'm from. The first thing that God taught us about wasn't Bible verses. God schooled us in narcissism. And I believe this to be true because of recognizing the devil for what he really is. The devil's an energy. We're knowing this now. God is an energy. Isn't it funny how religion had us looking for a God that is a man that looks like Mermaid's daddy, and religion had us looking for a little 3-foot little red dude, and we're not looking for men here. We're looking for and feeling for an energy, one that feels free. Now that's my Lord Jesus, and that's not a religion. He's my Savior. He's saving me from this shit we call a matrix. We're born into this crap, that's narcissism. Narcissism is the devil. Go home and look at it. Just hold it up to the light. Look at it. It fits. Now I'm preaching it here. Didn't know Joel Osteen, ain't no T.D. Jakes. We don't need none of that. I'm saying it because I got it from the man upstairs. This church is ran by Jesus. I know you don't see him, but you should see him through my picket fence. Okay? Anyway, let's get back to what I was saying. Why am I under this hat? Because what I'm doing is what Jesus is doing. He's calling a band of outlaws. He wants a whole bunch of rebel shakers just like me. Sovereign enough to cross the crazy line. To not subjugate to religion anymore. To see it for what it is. To love God Yahweh, your way. It's okay. I'm showing you it's okay. The shirt I had on earlier said Jesus still loves me with a pot leaf on it. Just to show you that, yep, none of us are perfect, darling. But God still messes with the imperfect. And I'm just a living proof of that. So what God is doing at this hour is for me and us on the porch. It's a rodeo. You don't have to wear a silly hat like me. But God's calling a rodeo. And I know that what he's going after. And about 5 years ago, God told me under my own hat that I was like a cutting horse to him. A cutting horse is an agile horse with quick feet. High dollar at a rodeo. Because a cutting horse could cut into the herd and get that one calf or cow out that's sick, that needs medication, that needs to be branded. God himself made me a little bit of a cutting horse myself. And as I cut into religion, and as you cut through that, the horse has eyes on exactly what it's going after. And there's a relationship between the rider and a cutting horse that you can learn from any old cowboy, not from the Bible. Very applicable when you put it back on it. And I've learned that in times I'm the cutting horse for God and he's the rider, and other times I'm the rider and he's the cutting horse. Either way, there's a relationship I have to learn to trust. And at one point, the rider's going to let go of the reins and let the horse's instinct kick in, which is to cut that herd and to pull out that heifer, to pull out that cow. For what reasons? For medication and branding. And I know that religion is made up of nothing but man's cults. I'm a girl. Thank God God sent a girl, not a man. Because if I was 50 years older than this and I was a male, you wouldn't look at me at all because I'd look like everybody else. 50 shades of boring gray packed in churches that lead us astray. Well, I'll get a guitar because that shit rhymed. But it's God's rodeo, and I'm not here alone. And what he's asking us to do is to be a band of outlaws, dirty disciples. An outlaw in him, a disciple of an outlaw. And that's all that I am too. I am through the I am. He changed a lot in me, but he didn't change my attitude or my shirt. And there's a whole family call for that. And I know what God is also doing is he's calling us into him, which is out of religion. Listen to me. You don't want to be caught in the bed of religion when Jesus comes back. That's the biggest form of third party I've ever seen. I ain't cheating on Jesus that way. I'm not going to be caught in the bed of religion. So here, it's an open, pure heart that says I'm indifferent. I work from a place of love, and God is love and love is God. I understand that there's a little bit of love in every single religion. There's a little bit of food at every gas station too. Doesn't mean I should eat there. Okay? Right? So what we're doing here on the porch is the embodiment of what God truly is and what the church should have always been, which is an open place like that of your porch that just says welcome with one light. It's not that it's non-denominational. It's one foundational, and the foundation is love. Jesus said that's the greatest I gave to you, not religion. I gave you my spirit and I gave you love. And if we put those two together, you know, we could really change the world. So I just wanted you guys to know that God's having his own rodeo, and he's setting out onto the world. Probably I'm one of 10,000 cutting horses. They're going to cut into that bullshit of religion and pull out the sacred. And we don't leave one. And what God wants to do through me, he's branding everybody. Am I doing that? No. God branded me, and it's this damn infinity sign. You know, it's pretty awesome. Why is there an infinity sign? Well, let me tell you. You want to get into story time? Because we will, and I'm going to tell you some holy secrets that I've already said before, but I'll say them again. Afraid that they would be taken by someone else and ran to the moon and back. Afraid that, as with anything, they get it, as with any information too, it gets in the wrong hands. But let's have Holy Story Hour. Why is the infinity here? Okay? Big one, religion's not going to be found around the infinity sign. To them, it's pagan. It's pagan. Come on now. The damn infinity sign, are you kidding? It actually is our burrows. Look it up, Webster. Look it up. Now, I know that everything under the sun is not new. Every symbol we've ever had has been touched and touched and molested and touched and molested. And what am I going to use? The heart symbol? A cross? Come on. I asked Jesus when he asked me to go call his church, I said, what are you going to use? Because everything that I could even think of, they're not going to take. Jesus forced me to run underneath this infinity sign. He explained it to me. It's a snake eating its own tail because it's forever the three things of life, death, and rebirth. Well, that made enough sense for this kind of Christian conscious cowgirl. I understand that. Too bad if the world doesn't. There wasn't a symbol out there in the world for sovereignty. Now, in a minute, I'll tell you why it's so damn important. I looked around. There's not a symbol for sovereignty. There's one for peace. If I want to show love, I can draw a heart. There's symbols for equals. There's symbols for a lot of things. I couldn't see a symbol for sovereignty. God said, use this one. Use the infinity sign. I don't know how you're going to get the whole world to adopt an infinity sign as a symbol of sovereignty. Well, Jesus means to take a sign and change it to a symbol that means something, or a symbol that means a sign. Jesus wants to take the infinity symbol and put weight and girth behind it. He's saying that so I have it on a flag. Why do I have it on a flag? The flag's yellow. Why is the flag yellow? Because I can't choose red or blue, and I can't teach you to do that either. I'm not going to tell you to go pick a religion that's going to teach you to hate another guy because he's in a different religion than you. I would then just be part of the golden calf and the serpent that keeps doing the same shit that keeps having us lost, and I'm not one of them. To be different, we have to wear yellow, like that of the sun, S-U-N in the sky, and the S-O-N in my life. To be yellow is to be radiant, like a porch light, like a lighthouse, like the point of light that Jesus is to me, like the one the Bible says to light, this little light of mine. Then be yellow. Then be yellow with me. It just so happens to stand that the Gaddison flag, it means sovereignty to some. And it sure is yellow. So I've used that same yellow and I just stuck on a flag. I am sovereign. Do you know whose name is I am? God the Father. Whose energy is running around the world in a conscious way, waking us up? God the Father. I am affirmations all day. I am is his name. How are you going to get atheists to hold up this flag? Well, they won't if I put God's name on it. Right. So hide it right there in plain sight with I am. Ooh, that's smart. That was Jesus' idea. And I say all the time, Jesus is a genius and his name is synonymous with that. I sit with this man all day and he creates through me. Okay? He can't be here in bodily form, but I can. And it's my hands that make that flag. And it's my obedience that creates it. That's called a baby. You seed, you gestate, you make, you go. A living embodiment of what it takes to jump off proverbial cliffs. Do you know how loud it sounds to say I made a flag? I was wobbly kneed under it for a long time. But I am sovereign in God. I do not belong to religion. I can't. That's the same thing that killed my Jesus. It's the same thing that beat me upside the head with the book when I took this love path with God. So I'm sovereign in him. And my Lord was sovereign in his Father too. Jesus was sovereign in his Father too. And so that's why I have the porch. That's why the flag is yellow. Because people are going to fall out and they're going to become religious refugees. Just like Jesus was. Where did he have to go? To the sand and the sea, because he was a religious refugee. No one would allow him to teach in their it just made everything else they were saying irrelevant, and they can't have that. That's that same shit that goes on today. You know, God's here. God's here. And this is a rodeo, and he's sending in cutting horses, and what he's doing is he's pulling us out and asking us one simple question. Who do you belong to? Well, you know what? I'm going to say him all day, because religion has nothing to do with my Jesus Christ. Religion has nothing to do. I'm not here for that. I'm here for us. I'm here for the sovereign. I'm here for, I love my country. I don't like my government. I love my Jesus Christ, but I don't want religion. And how do I fit? Where is that house? This is that house. Tell them we are here, because that is my slogan. I am here. And if I had you in a t-shirt, what would you say? I am here. You get 1,000 people screaming what? I am here. What are you basically saying? God's here. This is his revolution. So I need your help, porch, to come on out and turn on your porch light. And to follow the movement of where God has me going. It's sovereign. I'm free in him, which means religion hasn't touched me enough to make me hate you. Okay? It's love I'm foundated in. It's not another church that we gag and choke you with. And if you try to leave it, then I excommunicate you. And, religion has its horror stories. Come on now. It's the spirits that it's going to unite us. And the only thing that humanity has in common, if it isn't God, and they haven't realized that yet, that we're all God's children. How hard is this? One thing we do have in common is our want and need for sovereignty. It's a God-inalienable right to be free. And isn't that just so funny that the biggest thing that Jesus Christ gave us was sacred freedom? It's called sovereignty. Our free will. Wow, that's not just a holy coincidence. Our free will is our sovereignty. And Jesus Christ died and raised back up to show you that sovereignty. He even told Mary, don't touch me. What he was protecting was his sovereignty. I am alive, but I've yet ascended. Well, you and I, we're awakened, aren't we? We're alive in this love, but we've yet to be called home. So might we just stand in the same place that the Lord did when he was outside the tomb? I'm awakened, but I haven't ascended. Don't touch me. And that's my motto. Funny, that's the same motto that's on the Gaddison flag. Don't tread on me. You know where they got it? From Jesus Christ's mouth. He's the first one and the only one in history to say, touch me not. And in Latin, that means nale me tangere. Learn to say it, get it off your tongue. Nale me tangere. It doesn't matter how many languages are out in the world. Everybody can speak a dead language today. And God means to Lazarus up a dead Latin language. And it says, nale me tangere. Sounds good coming off your tongue. It means don't touch me. And nale me tangere is my creed. Because I am a type of preacher that runs under, don't touch me, I am made by potter's clay. I only answer to God. And if he has me talking to a Samaritan woman, then I'm talking to a Samaritan woman. If he has me doing this or that, then I'm doing this or that. If he wants me to grab my firstborn and a knife and head to the hill, then I'm going to the hill. If he wants me to buy up all the wood and loaves in 5 counties and build a boat in the football field, then I will go. This is the same shit our ancestors in discipleship faced back then. Some of them stuttered, drank, smoked pot, and still cussed, and he said, come with me anyway. This church is no different than what Jesus was doing 2,000 years ago near the sand and the sea. The only place that I truly have to preach, because no one will have me, is the sand and the sea, a lighthouse in Georgia, which I still plan on going. Religion won't have me, and spirituality can't find me. I bet you can find me, and we can find each other, and we can choose each other in this hour and look like one great big hoop that Black Elk spoke about. There is this great humanity within us all, and it's an hour that we could truly divinely have it. And if we wrap ourselves in an infinity sign, because it's forever, it's infinite, and so is his love. So is the man in China right now, and in a different language than I, and different skin than I. Can I not love? Yes, I can. It goes back and forth, it flows. Everyone that has salt in God knows that he tempers us like blood, and that is how you keep the blood alive, is you temper it back and forth. A scientist would never let it stagnate, for then the blood would die. For we're always being moved in the Lord. And that is what that infinity sign is. We have our highs and lows, our EKGs, our points and patterns. These things teach us it is the yin-yang of the wolf we run the forest with. No more should we embrace it as pagan. I'm here also to put integrity back into spirituality because it belongs there. And religion is really the only one trying to kick down the cornerstones of spirituality because maybe it didn't want us to be this powerful in the Lord like we were supposed to and divinely righted to be. Maybe religion wanted to take that power from us and make it go through it to have the Lord at some piece or measure. This is our time now because God's not letting one layman go untouched by his pomegranate knowledge. I know that I'm not the only one. I might be loud, but I'm not the only one. So I just wanted to tip my hat at this hour and understand that I too am a cutting horse. And what we're meant to do is to go call his church. And that one body church, how do you get that one body church in a world like this? You can only do it if it's God's alchemy. There's no way I could do this as a single-handed person. As a 39-year-old female, what would I do? How could I unite the world? Well, Jesus gave us an idea. Sovereignty. Don't touch me. Not let me tangere. He gave us a color, yellow. He gave us a symbol, infinity. He said, go call my church. This is my brand. This is my color. This is my creed. Call them into me. And what do I say that is my religion? I have two religions. Do it anyway. I'm going to go anyway. Okay? And my other religion is I'm sovereign in him. No one gets to take my power. I believe I'm him all day. I don't judge him in different. It's such a freeing place to be. You don't have to even control a damn thing. There's no control in it, and that's religion's job is to control. So as you come out of this and you become religious refugees, fall your ass right into what we'd like to call the church, because this is a living body of God and he's calling us back into him, sovereign into him. Say don't touch me and call yourselves mine. And it's the opposite of Passover. Now see, this is where the prophetic part of me is going to take over, which is a skill that I have, not because I fell out of my mom any damn different. It's just because we all have these skills and we're afraid to stretch them and we're afraid to grow them. And I got to spend about 5 to 7 years of my life almost in damn solitude. So when you sit by yourself long enough, you start learning to talk to God and you get an excellent relationship. And that's where this is born from. Where loneliness turned into togetherness with me and God. That's where a lot of my knowledge comes from. The bottom of the kitchen floor, surrounded by a bunch of broken spatulas from time to time. This didn't come easy, but at the same time it did. So, prophetically, I just want to tell you that we're having the opposite of what was Passover back then. This I do know. The opposite of Passover back then. When Moses ran and he said, let my people go. And he asked 3 times to let us go, from the bondage, the physical bondage that they were in. And I'm just going to paraphrase. You don't need to correct the story. We're all here for the story, okay? We're getting to we're getting to the brass tacks of the story. The story is that they put, lamb's blood on their doors so they would get passed over. Now, Jesus gave me the divine right to know that this is his calling of the church, and we better mark our asses yellow because we don't want to be passed over. The opposite of Passover is don't want to be passed over. And God is out in the land. I am here. He's consciously here. Christ consciousness is here. He's teaching us all a love language. I'm a living apostrophe to that and epoxy to that. So what's happening is this is God. He is luckily and mercifully calling us before he calls us. Thank God he's given us a chance, a shot. And if we mark our doors yellow and we say we're sovereign, then he knows where we are and we're not going to be passed over. And like I said in my last video, I want to reiterate it again. I don't believe that the right and wrong that the devil has poured across the land and we have lived on one side and judged each other for this right and wrong. Even religion sits at the top of this right and wrong line. Because one religion is righter than the next, and you're wrong, Joey, because I'm right, Billy, and all you have is a fight of religion saying I'm right, you're wrong. This comes from the tippity top of religion and trickles all the way down, and we have divided ourselves in a line of right and wrong. Let me tell you that I know that Jesus Christ is not going to divide this land between right and wrong, because right and wrong is pretty relative. Is the rain making you sad, or does it make other people cozy? It's relative. Is a road dangerous? It depends on if you're the duck and you have a sign for that, or if you're a squirrel and you're going to die for that. It's relative. We do the wrong things and do the right things sometimes, and what we think is right is actually wrong. And that's relative. You know what's not relative is Jesus Christ east-west. His separation east-west is either you're a slave or you're sovereign. Who has the collar around your neck? Who do you subjugate to? Vanity, religion, what people think. What people think is the biggest religion of the land, and it's not on the computers, it's not on Google. The biggest religion in the land is, I care what people think. My vanity is based on this. My validation's based on this. You know what my validation's based on? I am. I am to the I am, and I don't need any other validation than that. And we know that when we're children of God. So get with me and help me change, humanity to a living circle where we choose each other, not sides. Sides is side. It'll kill. That's what the word means. So help me help them not choose sides. Help us choose each other by choosing love. And by doing that, we choose God's course. And we can choose to love people whether we agree with them or not. Whether you agree with somebody doesn't mean you can't love them. I can love you from here. I'm a lighthouse. I do it all the time. So, so does Jesus. And so we'll be like his light. Anyway, that's the message for right now. Don't forget that we're at a rodeo. And really, I'm not making a church and, we're all going to sit down and just do this old school. No, God's really actually making a damn rodeo, and you're part of it. Cowboy up. Because what God's asking me to do is go get a bunch of more cowboys that ride and talk like me and got saddles of their own. And what we're supposed to be doing is literally shining a light in the world for a church that's different and a call back home. The porch light's on, time to come home, And so, like I've told you 1,000 times, this isn't my church. This is the Lord's church, and He's calling us into Him. I'm just a messenger of the body of work down here, amen. And I need many hands to help me lift it. This is not just my job to do alone. Anyway, all right, so I'm going to talk to you a bit. I'm going to go grab some more coffee. Probably need to charge my phone. But it'd be great to see you back here. Anything you want to talk about, I'd be happy to dive right in. Anything you need to pray about, I'd be happy to get on my knee for you. Anyway, family, it's great to see you. Thanks for listening. And if you spread the knowledge, pointing back to the porch, pointing back to Red Dirt Preacher, pointing back to home. A sovereign place. We don't need labels around here or boxes to live in. We're not box turtles, and we shouldn't be labeled. Being labeled sucks. Because there's a glass ceiling effect to that, darling. And we are multidimensional circles and light bulbs. Okay? Sovereign on our own, just being who we are. So thank God that somewhere between spirituality that gets a little nutty and crazy, even for me sometimes, and thank God that somewhere between religion that gets also a little nutty and scary sometimes, there's this middle plumb line that's called yellow. And I wanted to tell you so much that wasn't just my idea. It was the Lord's idea, and I followed, and I hope to God the world follows. This is what He say do. It's what I'm doing for right now. Anyway, I love you, crowd, and like I say, stay kind and stay the hell out of your mind.